Knox is my little boy. He's 6, and I got to noticing him showing an interest in turkey hunting and started asking a lot of questions about it. And we hunted around the house a little bit. We ended up taking a trip, me and Eddie and Brooks Brooks' little girl Corbin. We ended up taking a trip and going to Tennessee for the youth hunt for the opener there. And same deal, we got on gobbling turkeys, and I had a couple close calls up there with some turkeys, and you know, he learned a lot. He got to hear him gobble and see him strut, and I really wanted to get him on one and get him an opportunity to shoot at one.
I knew where some turkeys had been hanging out on the south end of the island. I was like, man, we really need to get Knox up here and try to kill one of these turkeys. And
one last shot at trying to get him one this year before the season was out, and just a quick little deal. Eddie drove up all night. He came early in one morning from Jackson, and we picked him up at the ramp. And, conditions wasn't great, man. It was just seemed like everything else. We just one thing after the next, trying to get this little dude on a turkey.
Super still.
that particular morning, the wind was howling, like 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. But I knew where these turkeys had been hanging out in, and it was kind of an open bottom, real sandy and real open. So we just eased up real quiet and slow, and I'm glassing every step, and sure enough, I take a step and look, and there's a turkey in a half strut.
He's bringing his feathers. We kill him right here.
We eased down, yelped a little bit, nothing, yelped a little bit, nothing. We thought we might have heard a gobble, but weren't sure. But after 5 or 10 minutes of no action, I kind of eased up on the tree I was on to where I was standing. I could see, and I caught movement of these turkeys. And as I'm looking at them through the binoculars, I just yelp as loud as I can. And sure enough, they pick their head up, and here they come.
There's a turkey out there, buddy. Be still. Super still. Super still. Stand up just a little bit. Alright, you see that one that's gonna pop out right here? Alright, put the red dot on him. Put the red dot on his head. Alright, hold on. Put the red dot on him. Alright, when you get it on him, shoot him.
Boy, son! Go get it, buddy! Go get it, buddy! You got it, Knox! You smoked it, Knox! Get up!
I was pumped, Knox was pumped, but Blake was sure enough pumped. I know what it means as a dad, and I know what it meant to Blake, and it was really special to be a part of it.
There's a lot of turkey hunts throughout my life that I remember bits and pieces of, and you know, certain things about each one, but that's the only hunt that I can think of in my entire life where from start to finish is just burned in my brain. And the sense of accomplishment that I had, and I know he had, is something that I won't never forget. And to be there with him and my good buddies, it was a special weekend for sure.
So we met country music singer Meghan Patrick at NWTF back in February.
Fingers crossed, drive till we start putting in posts.
She's a huge duck and turkey hunter, and this spring she kind of had some tough luck back home and spent a couple days out in Oklahoma and didn't have any success. So Edward called and said, we got to try to get Meghan a turkey. And I said, well, let's take her to the island, good a place as any. And so we lined it up there towards the end of the season, got her up there, and just had a ball for a couple days chasing turkeys. That first day she was there, man, it had been raining 3 days prior, all day, every day. And the first morning we went, it was actually misting rain, and it just got done thunderstorming. And typically turkeys, if they go to bed wet and wake up wet, they're not gonna gobble much, and that's what they did. We set up and got soaking wet, decided to call the hunt, went back to camp and dried out, had breakfast, and sure enough, we eased back out there at 9:30, and there's a gobbler strutting 15 yards from where we were sitting.
Well, we set up, started raining, went back to camp to dry off. Came back, there's a gobbler standing 10 yards from where we were set up, so. Thinking about maybe almost going past him, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to see us. He had a hen with him, and she was feeding that way. And he wasn't gonna leave her to come 200 yards.
We made a loop on them and almost got her a shot at one, and they just kind of skirted us just a little bit, but that kind of lit a fire under for the next morning. So it's real cool, you hear people on the radio, and, we got to hear her sing in Nashville a little bit, but, walking through that front door at the camp and listening to her singing in that big room, in the living room, man, she's something else now. She can really get down.
It held the barrel of a gun sitting on a 10-point beam. It knows its way around a 12-thread neck. It can land a good punch when I'm seeing red. But the best thing about it now is something I used to only dream about. Till the right one came along and changed my whole world. God damn, want me, yes, do you want me? Mine forever, girl. You can bet I say yes, even though I could barely catch my breath. Now the best thing about my left hand is a ring on it from the right man.
Morning. Yeah, boy. So the last morning of the hunt, we decided to leave Edward and Meghan where we had been seeing turkeys on the airstrip plot, and I decided to go on the south end of the island to see what I could hear. So while I was down on the south end, they actually had one fire off gobbling, Edward started calling, and sure enough, this turkey's hammering, strutting the whole way to him.
Finally! Go!
I couldn't hear her scream from the south end, but I know she was fired up.
We got him. Worth the wait.
You know, so Megan, you know, having not been around her a whole lot and just, you know, getting to know her as a person and her background, and, you know, not only is she just a great country music singer, she's an awesome person, and on top of that, she is ate up with hunting, which is just so cool to see. And, you know, to be able to share our place with her and see the enjoyment she got out of it, man, it's just special. It's why we got the island.
What'd that turkey do? What'd that turkey do when you shot him? Go get sand in your drawers.